looks like target disables with a lot of damage. Fight spells. As important.
Especially because the other meta that we've been talking about, the prevalence of the heal strats. BO3 was talking about how it's rare that you'd be able to have a hero who embraced and yet still be dealing an immense amount of damage. Leshrac, Wind Wyvern.
Dire team down.
But I'll give you
Radiant team down.
as Ali put it, they got more out of the lanes than
Dire team. Radiant
all of these
team.
other
Enchantress.
They've just played. PSG.LGD did not.
They just look. You know, I hope this game
10
is not a
seconds
shellacking.
remaining.
Seen T1 get dumpster.
5 seconds remaining.
Lion.
The whole that's been the narrative of the whole tournament. Actually,
Dire team.
shellacking, and then they come back in game 2. We all think they're gonna
Dire
shellac again,
team down.
and they
Spectre.
Radiant team down.
God damn it!
Tsunami. Let us look at the Enchantress and the Spectre. First phase picks for the T1 pick up a Lion and a Puck. They actually opted first phase ban out the
10
DK this time.
seconds
Probably a
remaining.
wise choice.
Dire team
Lion's a big
down. Radiant team
Seems like
down.
all of
Dire
these
team
random
down.
disengage heroes that are getting picked, the Holy Lockets, the Eon Discs are heroes, but Winter Wyverns, etc., etc.
Radiant
Just
team
bursting
down.
people, like especially type hero, a Spectre type hero, these very tanky heroes that can heal up quickly, bursting them before anybody can get to them and take that disengage and turn it into a fight. These heroes that can burst seem good, and Lion is the #1 hero for bursting.
Team
Period.
They're complete. Kill the target. Going on you. Stun the target. Stun.
Two ways of
10
dealing with the
seconds
killing disengage.
remaining.
Either you do it yourself,
Right.
or you somehow
5 seconds
burst somebody quick
remaining.
enough that the disengage that the enemy team is do won't matter. Either you disengage better, or you thwart their disengage.
That's been a slow evolution. People were reluctant to go for damage, and they're like, maybe if I do Spirit Vessel, it's okay. Maybe if I do Scotty, Shivas, that'll be enough to this. But I think the solution is clear. Eliminate the target before any of the heroes
Dire team
or silencers. Puck and Death Prophet have been on the come up as a result. One back to Siggy, Zephyr Trim.
As you were saying about the silence, I think backline silences are the best type of heroes against
10 seconds
strat.
remaining.
Maybe it's better to say heroes that can reliably silence the
5
backline, because I think something like
remaining.
So let me tell you, this may be a radical hero. What if there was a hero
Radiant team
globally
hits.
silence?
No.
You know
Okay.
what? That sounds like really good, as long as it's not on an incredibly long cooldown with 3 other useless spells.
You don't want
Interesting.
that. You're both. And then be useful every
10 seconds
100%
remaining.
wholeheartedly.
There are currently 18 heroes who have been uncontested, no picks, no
remaining.
bans, and silencers.
One of those heroes should be best saving.
Right, yeah, Dawnbreaker. You can
No, no.
Captain's mode. Right, you mean Keeper of the Light? Yeah.
No.
Oh,
I'm talking about a hero who literally eats somebody and makes them immune, permanently immune, and heals them for 7% of their HP per second. I mean, what better disengage can you get? You know, if they're too far in there, you hook them out.
You might be onto something. Because in my head,
No,
in my head, I was thinking, how do I shut out this touch? Because I'm so tired of hearing about touch. I'm just so tired of hearing about Jenkins' bowel movements.
so tired of hearing about 1 in 17.
She wasn't thinking it. That's a lie. She was besmirching me,
10
rating me
seconds
verbally.
No,
remaining.
but
Stated
anyway,
out loud thoughts.
listen, let me finish. I was thinking
5
about how I was going to make him
remaining.
but he does have a point. His fits into this meta so well that it's surprising.
Speak
willing
my language.
to.
Swear to God, Jenkins, if you say the F word, and I'm talking about the one that I will go off this pen so fast.
This Pudge hero has been festering.
Effie, explain the Doom.
Dude, what's wrong with you?
Just laughing.
Why would they pick Doom into a Leshrac? I thought Leshrac doesn't care.
I think they're just. Maybe they just like.
It's a Coral specialty. You were saying, Jenkins, you liked all of his off lanes being mid lane.
I do like that. I think best possible. In fact, I think a lot of players would agree that most annoying people that you find in pubs are usually end up getting on the tier 1 teams in the next.
So, Aghanim stuff.
I think that's like the big reason. You see the Doom here a lot in like China SEA.
Dire team down.
Axe.
I think the reason is this Aghanim Scepter and also the prevalence of Spectre, making the Aghanim Scepter a.
Oh, well. If it isn't Ame Axe coming back from the grave. LGD let it chill for a little.
10 seconds.
Oh, wait. Oh, never mind.
That's
It's Spectre. No!
Fade Beyond Axe.
Also, a special.
Oh, he
So-
pops off.
So both are very pleasant.
That guy is in tier. I love watching Faith Beyond play this hero. He is the
Dire
best.
team
I love him.
down.
Please email me.
Radiant team back.
.org.
Dire
Definitely
Low
the best.
master. So you knew fake Tsunami.
What's up? Talking about disengaging and
10 seconds remaining.
Back to the drops. I think Axe is a very good hero against Puck.
5 seconds
Has
remaining.
great ability. A lot of this.
Radiant team.
Well, I wouldn't call it
Wrath Maid.
good
I
enough.
like.
silence and a kill threat. You pair it up with an axe call and a mist flare. That will eliminate.
I love playing these melee stunning offlaners, the ones that set up for these
10
damage dealing.
seconds remaining.
Axe, Commander. Game is so easy.
5 seconds
Run
remaining.
around, and if you're with this guy and you hit stun, they will die. There's nothing currently that T1 do to stop that combo from killing.
I will not. They're gonna need a really good. Be allowed. Really hope you want.
There's nothing that I see in the carry position. It's not kind of there that can get out of this, get their team out of this combo at the very least. Like carry that does very well against the. You still have the Sky, the Axe, even the Axe and the Leshrac together, as well as with the Spectre Haunt. Anybody globally in the side lanes. Super nice combo, and
You
I really hope not. I really cannot.
I think Dusa also loses the lane to Sky Axe. That's one of those combos where they have enough damage that it doesn't matter that Axe is sitting on the wave and the Dusa. The Axe Battle Hunger as well as the Sky Q and W do enough damage that she gets pushed out. If the lane is pushed up at all, you just murder. Easiest thing ever.
Monkey King.
Choose your
There's
hero.
all in one. These heroes like someone like mid. They just spoke. I'm not a believer in this.
So the difference maker in this one, I don't think Lion plus Monkey King or Tree plus Monkey King is enough to deal with a Sky plus an Axe. The thing with this Monkey King against Axe is it's kind of a bait in my. You think that you can be Axe because you hit him while he sits there, but then he just plays with the nuke. Points a nuke, and then you go Windlace Boots, and you run the Monkey King down, who's very bad at dealing with. So, T1 needs to play. If they get a lead in the lane with Monkey, dumpsters the Axe plus Sky.
So there's no save from the living armor. Maybe. You think maybe a Yule's for the axe, but you're.
Exactly.
So what's your counter?
So I think the counterplay is that Puck is one of the best heroes at rotating on a really aggressive dual lane like an guy. So I would like to see Carl get level 6 mid and then be incredibly active. Basically play to break the laning down. Because I think play to have passive, you're going to lose every lane on.
I agree with that. You
Everything-
can't lose especially.
เป็นเกมที่ดี
Subarashi.
For battle.
Excellent. I want a game 3. Maybe T1 might not be able to pull off Skyrath Axe combo. Might be too much for them. Let's find out with our casters.
それはどうかな。
他们说什么我也不会去了。
Yes, I think we all want to be able to see a game 3. In order to get there, though, T1 is going to have to step it up. And it sounds like from our draft analyst that it's going to be Carl in particular who's going to have to take over this game.
I actually think it might be 23 Savage. I kind of agree with the closing thoughts. This is a rough game for Monkey King. Like I just look at the height advantage even. PSG.LGD heroes
been
have.
into a bit of action tier. Cuckoo should be fine though.
I'm like looking at the AR behind me across the river. It just PSG.LGD's lineup just looks menacing.
Yeah.
And
30 seconds to battle.
Menacing in what? Wait, what are you looking at?
oh, sorry, the team graphics are flipped. I got very confused. I'm like, is everything I thought about the draft suddenly wrong? No, it's just mislabeled. I like that they kept the Spectre Leshrac. It's just such a sick combo. They both dive in, so much AoE damage. 23 Savage though. Once again, I think this lineup's kind of built around him. And it's a rough game, even from the laning phase. Like, I just don't see this as a great Monkey King game unless, as Effie said, he dominates the laning phase.
Yeah.
Like, crushes it.
Well, you're dealing with Axe, with the early on Battle Hunger spam, as well as the spam coming out from Skyrath Mage. You're just going to be receiving constant magic damage. And you can't feel super confident about getting those Jingu stacks up if you're missing any HP, because Vax gets a little lucky and gets a couple of spins in. He might just turn around and do more damage to you than you did to him.
Yeah. And I will say, Carl, on the Puck, a much better matchup against the Lesh, but also a lot more formidable. You know, more damage, lower CD on Coil than Lasso. And, I mean, we just saw Abed. Like, come on.
Yeah, Puck is a pretty crazy hero right now. And in the hands of some of these C players, it looks crazy good. It looks like it just needs to keep being nerfed, even though I feel like we've seen like 3 nerfs in a row at this point.
And it would be fitting, right? Carl,
Mm-hmm.
like Abed from the Philippines, also 4-letter name, also playing Puck, trying to secure a spot in the finals.
Really, next year you're going to be talking about the eye inside of the pyramid, the Illuminati that sees it all. This is the draft for perhaps a Game 3 conspiracy on our
Guess
hands.
the horoscope signs, Caps. No, seriously, guess, because I don't know them.
Well, I can tell you that 23 Savage, the young high carry player of T1, is an Aries. Born in March 27, specifically.
How do you know that?
Do my research, Kyle. Do my research.
All right. Well, already, you can already see the matchup advantage, right? Carl got absolutely shredded in the previous game. This time, it's him giving a little bit of punishment back to nothing to say. It's just so much more pleasant to play Puck. It's just the base damage even. I think Bats is like 44.
Yeah,
Puck only up to 60.
You can also see Nothing to Say is actually going to run out of mana in lane compared to what was last time, where he was having infinite mana to spam lightning because of Bat Rider.
Yeah, it's actually like a great matchup for you to play against Bats for that reason exactly. You'll bottom lane pick up.
Beyond, they need to be able to win this lane on the side of T1, and it looks like they are taking an early lead. Very nice.
Yeah, and he skipped spin to level call there just to ensure his survival. You don't want to feed first blood to a Monkey King. It's very much a hero that, with an item advantage, starts to crush you.
Oh, nice dodge there with a trickery. I don't think he got hit by the concussive shot at all there.
So I'd like to see that ZQ securing a last hit for his offlaner. Those of you in your pubs, don't be mad when I try to last hit your creeps. I'm helping. If I happen to get the last hit, it's better me than nobody.
True. Absolutely true. We got a little bit of a tornado warning going on in this top lane. Cuckoo is going to be pushed away by the ever-annoying presence of the Enchantress. And And once again, it feels like Zephyr is going to be a bit neutralized here as the Treant Protector, almost dying in lane even. Cuckoo had to try and help him out there. I'm not expecting a Treant Protector to be in trouble against a Spectre lane, but that's just the power of Enchantress, I guess. GQ, they're going to be able to catch him here. Cleaning up the disables, making sure that he doesn't get off concussive shot for quite some time. Whitemon, low armor on Skywrath, the high ground hit. Fairy Fire is going to go off, and a miss from Whitemon. Fortunately, not going to be able to secure First Blood, which is still out there somewhere on the table.
But you're all right with that, I think. At the end of the day, your Monkey King is free farming against Axe. He's going to be very content, although not quite as big of an advantage as you might hope. I do think that he will have troubles when the Skywrath comes back with the full mana pool. We shall see. But mid lane, I think that's the big difference here. Like, it's so much more comfortable to be on a puck in terms of how you scale. That's why EG like it so much.
A prize.
You kind of fill all the gaps. It's a lot like Ember Spirit, but I think puck is just so much more of a nuisance. Kind of easier to get your damage off, and I think the item build is a bit more solved. Like Witchblade, just it's so good, it gives you everything.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Zephyr banging around in the trees here. One good thing about Treant Protector, even if it's not a lane you feel like you can really pressure that much, just use your superior damage to secure denies. He's gotten 2 of them already. Doom's doing all right for himself. Still, though, the Spectre feels like it's free farming.
The difference is watch Cuckoo's gold, because right now he's holding 1,000. If he can get comfortable spot, maybe buy an early Midas, that starts the clock on PSG.LGD. I understand, yeah, sure, you could buy 3 Lincolns and a Lotus just like EG did, but end of the day, Doom is late game. You get up to a Shiva's Refresher, maybe even an Aghanim's, it's just kind of over for you. You can't team fight into it. And
how much, if we were to put a number on how much late game these heroes represent. So what does Monkey King represent? Give me a number, 1 through 10.
I'll give him like a 6.
Okay.
In this game.
How much does Spectre represent?
8.5.
Okay. And what does Doom represent?
Does he have an Aghanim?
Well, you make the call. Is he going to be building an Aghanim Scepter?
Yes, it gives you a break.
Okay.
If you Ags Doom a Spectre, he's deleted. Completely deleted. No Dispersion, no Desolate. That's pretty much game over. And yeah, that pops a Doom. Ag Refresher, you can turn that all the way up to 11.
So Spectre is an 8.5 minus whatever the Doom's doing to her. With the break mechanic. Oh, a little bit of trickery. Just barely staying alive. Still had 3 stick charges, though, so he was totally in control the whole time. No fear whatsoever. Yeah,
that's the danger. I mean, it's so annoying playing against Sky in the lane as the Monkey because you only have that sustain mechanic if you get Jingu stacks. And Sky is so fast, you're not going to get hit.
Plus, he has a slow that keeps you from getting the 4th hit on the Axe. Yeah.
Also, the 2 points Battle Hunger on Faith Beyond now with an Urn. Like, they're playing this lane perfectly. And I also want to give a special shout out as this game is still slow. Do not forget the director, the master puppeteer, Zhao 8, doing the drafting, the coaching. We're praising the hell out of PSG.LGD, but Zhao 8 has been making teams look this good, both as a player and in the booth for what, a decade?
It has been a very long time. Zhao 8. Director behind the scenes in this game. Really true to his name, and now he's been directing LGD, and I think one of the things that... Oh, call gonna go out, and they've got Y here to help secure the kill. Even if 23 Savage does manage to get the Jingu stacks up, there's an enchant to dispel him. Carl, he's gonna show up and try and go for the easiest kill he sees. That's the Enchantress. One more hit, gets it, jumps away. Will be okay, gets that 1 kill and out, but it doesn't offset the fact that their carry has died. The carry that you said, Kyle, needs to be able to have a good game here. And
yep, I was about to say it. Nothing to say. He takes all this space. They have no glyph. He is just straight up killing a tier 1. There's no coil. He's going to push for it. No.
Leaves it just a little bit low. Loses Courier in the process. I guess he knew maybe both the supports were coming in. So it should be a denied tower. But this is what we've been saying about this entire tournament. There's nothing to say. If you leave his lane in these sort of matchups, he literally will go and 1v1 the tower. With the bottle, he'll just, tank tower shots and whatever, whether it's a Templar Assassin, Alina, a Leshrac, whatever it is, he's just going to gun for that tower is the most important objective.
I think it says something as well. Number 1 MMR, he backs away. He could have traded his life for the tower. It is not worth it to him, so maybe it shouldn't be worth it to anybody.
call, slowing him down, splitting their targets. A 23 Savage will go on to Faith Beyond, use the Boundless Strike to finish off the Skywrath Mage, but now Nothing to Say is here. He's done the damage he needs to do on the mid-tier 1 tower, and he's going to be looking to put the pressure on this bottom lane, killing the Lion, and now...
That's so cool. Because the tower mid didn't die, they still don't have glyph cap.
Oh!
He's going to deny, maybe Carl, if he doesn't deny, that's just 2 free towers basically given up. If they continue to push, of course, the mid.
That's an interesting, maybe that's why T1 isn't denying it, right?
Yeah.
They're going to deny it if they need the glyph.
That's a really interesting save because they have it back up in 10 seconds. Huh, that
So
is
you
really
could get
cool.
a double glyph out of that tonight. I can see both sides of this, LGD and T1.
Go for
Carl, yeah, Carl, okay.
Silence.
He did an attack, and I think he realized, okay, I've got to jump now. I don't think his team was ready, but he auto-attacked onto Faith Beyond.
Oh, no.
I don't know if that was intended.
That was an Arcane Rune puck. That was a free setup. You saw Savage channeling the ultimate, and instead they just fire a warning shot. A flare gun goes off, and PSG.LGD bolts. And they, man, we're talking
all the cool moves that can happen with this tower, and Y just strolls up with the range creep. What up?
They didn't even use the glyph that was already off cooldown. I thought this whole thing was 5 head. Turns out 4 head all along. Unfortunate, but it was cool to think about. Top lane, though, let's keep in mind, Cuckoo, he does have a Doom prepared. However, 2 levels behind the Ame Spectre. We shall see. Carl is the man to watch. Top of the net worth chart. Is going the Witchblade as expected, but so far hasn't really been able to get much done.
They're going to move to the Doom first. See, I was going to say Puck and Doom is one of my favorite combos. And I thought he would rotate up to top lane. Instead, Cuckoo is the one who's going to be the victim of PSG.LGD's movement. Nothing to Say immediately going for the tower. T1 is already on their way here. Might just be able to catch his Leshrek. Nothing to Say massively overextending himself. They're going to drop the coil to make sure he does die. Whitemon, though, is going to be haunted and killed. No more haunt anymore. And silence under the puck. Carl could shrug that off pretty easily. He'll still be here to defend the tower ultimately. That's the most important part for T1.
That's cutting of your losses. Nothing to Say. Unfortunately, tanking the tower there took a bit too much damage. One of the few uncharacteristic mistakes I've seen him make so far this tournament, but a cool move. He bought out his hood just before he died. Once again, he's going to go the Eternal Shroud. He lost no gold on death, spent all of that unreliable gold in his death throws. They also got that ward sentry up, so they'll see Carl moving around. Also 23 Savage, a timely DD will help him farm out this ancient camp, but this is the trouble with Monkey King when you lose your lane. You want to have an extended laning phase. You hate games like this where all of a sudden there's team fights brewing. You don't want to get involved right now. You don't have any items.
Once again, we're seeing this Train Protector versus Leshrek, and I'm expecting to see something from T1. They're going to try and defend their tower a little bit better this time around. Going for the Axe. Axe in a nasty position. So much magic damage. This time around, T1 is successfully defending their Tier 1 safe lane tower. Maybe we'll see that living armor repair at some point in time, but I like Puck Doom because it ensures when you doom somebody, they're going to get coiled and they won't be able to run away. Sadly, Monkey King does not offer the same kind of combo.
Indeed, it does not. That is another unfortunate gank gone wrong, man. T1, they'd be in such a great spot if they landed a couple more of these kills.
Yeah.
So far, it's just the Nothing to Say mistake that led to a kill on a core. That should be one on a Spectre, and they should have also got a Lesh kill bottom. Instead, it's just going to be a push. There's no glyph. That is almost certainly a dead Tier 1. The hood pop will absorb a round of puck spells.
Overgrowth catching 3. They're going to try and go for the Leshrek immediately. And because of the puck damage, because of the burst, they can kill this Leshrek. Last time, Nothing to Say. The slow damage that was coming from T1 allowed him to empty his entire mana pool in many team fights. Now, he's dying at the onset of every single team fight.
Yep. He's just not strong enough yet. And part of that is that he's been making a ton of rotations rather than look to increase his net worth. But I love that, this whole time, Innocence on the Enchantress, no panic, doesn't even care about what's happening bottom. He was just stacking the jungle for his Leshrek. What is that? That's a double and a triple on the hard camp.
Okay.
Up in the top jungle. So expect Nothing to Say to maybe just port mid. No, he'll just, port mid, start farming. He wants the Shroud. The Eternal Shroud's a big deal. Will increase his survivability significantly.
I would love to see T1. It feels like they're reacting a lot to PSG.LGD, but I would love to see them being the aggressors one of these times and put a stop to this kind of farming, but sadly, it's not going to happen.
They just don't really have the draft for it. The problem with Lion is that level 1 Finger, it's a 2-minute 40-second CD. You also have a Cuckoo Midas Doom. So looks like PSG.LGD, they kind of recognize, like, if anybody knows Doom in the meta, it's going to be teams from China. It's very common there. And when you go for this Midas build, we've been discussing it, like, it puts the enemy team on a clock. The Aghanims, Refresher, Shivas, the BKB, Blink, you know, you keep adding items to the Doom and things just get spookier and spookier. The Spectre cannot play into Ag's Doom. Like, that is your ultimate win condition. Doesn't matter the items that Ame has. So, question is, how do you look to do this if you're 2-1? And you can see 23 Savage, he went for more of an aggro build, has the treads, soon to be a Diffusal complete. So he's going to look to get more involved with his puck. Cuckoo probably to do the same with Doom off cooldown. But it's tough. The tower mid is the big deal. I think we have something like an 80% win rate for teams that take enemy tier 1 first.
Yeah.
It's a pretty huge disparity. I made up that number, but I'm pretty sure it's close to that.
Yeah, I knew you definitely made up that number, but
thanks for going with it.
We used to have a stat on that, and I remember that stat is always high.
Yes.
Mid tower is just such an important controlling point of just map dominance, right? It allows you to be able to invade better. It holds your triangle, which is usually a very important part of securing farm for your carry. Unfortunately, this smoke, looking for Ame, doesn't quite connect. Unlucky.
It is, but at the same time, if that's a puck leading the charge, they're going to land the coil. Unfortunately, it's a Lion with a significantly shorter range on the spells. Found the edge, Carl. Oh, that heal.
Yeah, he's going to be able to stay here for a while. In fact, they're going to turn around on Carl, and they're going to go for this Doom. Cuckoo's in trouble. Slowed down. The Echo Saber hit is going to lead into a split Earth. Carl, he'll manage to get away, sure, but again, ultimates that are just not paying out. Now, okay, if they can kill him, Finger of Death, and they got him. The carry of LGD finally dies. I believe his first death so far of the series.
That was one of the more typical Ame mistakes that you'll see. He just, every once in a while, I won't call it a feed, but a overly aggressive maneuver. And well done there by T1, just to basically call the bluff, right? Typically you'll see a Spectre, you might be a little afraid. There's a Blink Axe suddenly that was picked up behind tower, but no, he's completely alone, blow all the spells. That's the power of the line with Finger available. That's why you see it pick so much in the tournament. So much
why you see it pick so much for T1 in particular, their most played hero. So we're gonna watch Jin Q die next. And the best part is they can trade it out between both Whitemon and Zephyr, the Indonesian support duo. 2 first Indonesian players going to TI.
Not bad. It's always cool, you know. The thing I love most about Dota, it's like it's truly an international game.
Yep.
You'll typically see players from numerous nationalities. I think, you know, I'm following Europe a lot, of course, working the DPC season, but Secret, 5 different nationalities, 6 if you count the coach. I believe it's 5 for Team Nigma. And you look around the world at different games, different franchise leagues, it's almost always like just one country.
Yeah.
That's why we call our grand final the International. I think Tsunami said something about that just before.
Hey.
Either way, nice smoke gank. They have the Faith Beyond with the Blink Dagger. It's time to make a move and perhaps set up a Roche right underneath the wards T1 placed as they made those earlier maneuvers.
And they're gonna run into the Doom. Cuckoo's Doom, who's a piggy bank of net worth right now. Battle Hunger slowing him down. Nobody from T1 close by to be able to protect him. Even though he is tanky, there's unlimited damage on PSG.LGD. At the same time, a very big kill. Being able to, well, maybe not the biggest kill, but the fact they can pressure mid a little bit is kind of nice for T1.
They also have that perfect ward set up. Although I think Carl just gave it away. They might get a kill for it anyway. Okay, works out.
As long as they get a kill for it. Maybe even pressure, nothing to say. Look at him, he's quite the bold one. Just farming up a hard camp while his support is dying nearby.
Yeah, you gotta be careful. The Monkey King with the Diffusal is very scary. It's especially annoying to play heroes like Skywrath. Even Axe can have some trouble. If you look at Faith Beyond, his mana pool is pretty limited. Diffusal burning 40 mana a hit. So a couple thwacks and suddenly you don't have anything left for a taunt.
Call it back. Boundless Strike is actually going to whiff. Unlucky. Zephyr is going to be left behind to die.
So far, so good, but you know, you gotta be, like, look at T1, right? The Doom, he's 0-3, but the captain of T1, still top net worth in the game, has the Midas, went for a couple of, I'll call them build-up items, you know, Blade Mail and Hood.
Nothing to say. Slowed down to a crawl by the defusal. A big pickup from T1, and now they're going to turn. In a sense, okay, they're apparently going to go for a haunt, feeling like most of the abilities have been expended here, allowing the Ame Spectre just to have free reign in the team fight. But oh dear, the damage that comes out from Shin-Q does manage to kill Kara. TP away from 23 Savage. Nicely played. A last-second Culling Blade was not enough to kill him. And where was the team? Cuckoo. He didn't have his TP, and he was farming earlier. Remember in that hard camp? And now he's here now, but he's got to be saved by Zephyr with the overgrowth. He's going to fight this out by himself, apparently, with the blade mail. What a man! Look at him go! He's chasing down 4 members of PSG.LGD, and he's going to get 1 kill. That is knowing the strength of your hero right there. That is why T1 in 10 games have only lost 1 with the Doom. Cuckoo knows this hero in and out.
Yeah, he certainly knows his own power level, just bolting forwards. That, you know, Blade Mail Hood, that's what gives him the power to do so. I kind of prefer, and what we've seen a lot more Dooms do, is just rapid acceleration, right? Earlier BKB Blink, or Rush the Refresher, maybe a Shiva's, but Hood Blade Mail, especially with tree armor, you're near indestructible running forwards. If they target you, you know, that first round of spells is really all PSG.LGD have. Yes, the burst combination of Axe Sky is strong, but that's really it, especially if Nothing to Say is dead. The big issue right now is dire lineup. They simply don't have sustained damage output. If Nothing to Say has something to say.
Or he has nothing to say because he's dead.
Sure.
Right.
Which is why he would need something.
If he has something to say, then they can do something.
Sure.
Anyway, the point is that the Leshrac dying at the start of every team fight because of the burst damage of the line plus puck, right? That's what you're getting to.
And the Monkey King, especially with the diffusal up now, it's so annoying to play this T1 lineup because they have 3 cores with 3 huge AoE kill combos, and the 2 supports also have one of their own. Whereas PSG.LGD, Enchantress, kind of just farming side lane, stacking camps. Spectre, more of the same. It's Lesh, Axe, Sky that can get things done, but they're getting picked off around the map. Nice wards, though. They will see this whole movement coming.
T1, they haven't really put much use to this Monkey King since it won them a couple games at the Singapore Major against Nigma. But now, with a new carry player in 23 Savage, they're feeling like this is the way to be able to bring down PSG.LGD. Do you agree that, like, LGD, they seem to be so well prepared for these game 1s, but the good teams, they always seem to manage to bounce back and win game 2 against LGD because they're counterplaying in some way? What would you say the difference is in draft from game 1 to game 2 for T1?
I think just more of an emphasis on the ability to make things happen around the map and just more raw damage output. That last lineup was effectively all in on gold-based damage, right? It's Dusa. It's all Dusa. You need 4 items and okay, we're actually able to fight. Whereas in this case, okay, Puck is online, Doom already online.
Look at Cuckoo go! They've got the 2-man coil. The silence out. The Skyward Mage is low. Can Puck finish him? Or is he going to be the receiving end of the silence? That's going to be the Doom instead. Doom with the blade mail activated though. PSG.LGD are still putting damage into him anyway. The Skyward Mage, that ultimate's a little bit off the mark, but Cuckoo does eventually die. And Zephyr, he's going to have some problems with Nothing to Say. This time around, the Leshrac did not die at the start of the team fight and was able to rule from the roost.
That's a little bit of miscommunication there from T1. The BKB was coming out to 23 Savage on Courier, so he didn't want to get involved. That was a potential deadly jump through. So instead they take a 4-on-5 engagement. Yes, Puck survives, but if they just wait a few more seconds, Cap, it could be so much better for them. That early lead they had now has mostly disappeared. They just got a little over-aggressive. They had the pipe on Cuckoo. They felt really strong, but if you just wait for the BKB before you make that engagement, it's all going to come up roses for T1. Instead, really nice from Zinq though, if we get a clip, because he lived inside the coil. You can see him kind of like sidestepping back and forth, like, am I okay, am I okay? Holds his ultimate and held his W for a little bit because the blade mail damage would have killed him. And then a great Lesh stun actually allowed his ulti to rain down with blade mail having dissipated, to then land kills on both enemy cores. Faith Beyond.
Coil trying to chase him away, forcing Faith Beyond to break it. Faith Beyond stands and fights and dies.
It's really annoying to play Axe against Doom. That max, it's 5% max HP as burn damage with the Infernal Blade, and of course only the 4-second CD. So you just kind of get chased down. Right now, Cuckoo, still top net worth, by far the tankiest hero in this game. And he almost always seems to have that tree armor applied. This game, he'll be maxed out earlier. Already 3 points from Zephyr. Has a mech to boot, and now it's about Roche. We saw PSG.LGD do this in the previous game. What was it, 18, 19 minutes in?
Yeah, it was a very early Roshan. Yeah, they got it 1930, I believe, on the Spectre.
And now you have Monkey King, right? You've got all of this tank ability and pretty damn good pit defense. So expect to see them do that soon. What's Ame got? He's going Asher after Manta, has Echo as well. It's a pretty unconventional build, I guess, just to try and pop the line. Oh, and for the pump, of course.
Grabs the creep, walks away, and the Split Earth will miss. As a result, Faith Beyond intercepts the Monkey King, but they can still turn around and go right back to dealing with this Enchantress. Potentially the only kill, but a double Force Staff gets him away. Now Cuckoo is the one in a tad bit of trouble here, but he is, again, very tanky, and 23 Savages lying in wait. And PSG.LGD overextends. It's a beautiful hit from Whitemon. The pre-hex on the Axe. His initiation denied. The Doom living through the Skywrath Mage ultimate, and Carl catching 3 on the coil. Now they're in trouble. PSG.LGD, they're just going to get wiped in this team fight. 4 down, Ame nowhere in sight because he knows a lost team fight when he sees one. He is going to be focused on farming bottom.
I love listening to this team play. As that coil landed, I heard Carl popping off. The whole team collapsed. They kill 4. Nice discipline from Ame not to use Haunt, but end of the day, T1, you know, it looked a little shaky at first. Really cool Force Staff disengages from PSG.LGD. I took that as a win. I'm like, wow, great moves. Get the hell out of there. This is still not a team you can fight into. They have way too much AoE control, but T1, they just kind of bait the trap. They catch them sleeping and then kill 4. Like, you can't fight this right now. They didn't even really need the Doom, just popped it to secure the kills because it's the enemy core. Like, at this point, this is the fight. Okay, this was the fight in the tier 2. So watch Ziggy. He's like, maybe. He doesn't want to cast any spells. The W almost kills him. He holds the ulti and a huge stun that finishes off both. This was where the game was equalized. We've got the one from just before. It should be pretty apparent that T1 just kind of owned it. There's really nothing you can do.
I mean, that was all luck. Whitemon basically with his pre-hex cast on the Axe won them that team fight. Once the initiation goes away, the Sword lives. That wasn't where he wanted to be. That's not the right King of the Hill game to be playing right now, but they can still blow up Cuckoo. He's getting low. Ame with the Blade Mail does manage to finish him off, and the Yule Scepter stalling up 23 Savage. They turn around, though, going for Faith Beyond, going for the tanky offlaner. They might be able to kill him, but this fight did not go their way as a result. Whitemon being chased down by Jin-Q and Y, the 2 supports ganging up to be able to bring down the Lion. 23 Savage looking to be able to get some revenge, but he's slowed down as the Echo Saber. He's got an Aegis, but he's got no BKB, so when he comes back, Split Earth stun, well timed by Nothing to Say. Jin-Q will die, yes, but they just managed to kill the Monkey King twice. Carl, in desperation, is going to cut the mid-wave. See if he can slow down LGD.
Okay, I think this time it's PSG.LGD. Great smoke. A lot of teams, they would just take that loss and be like, okay, guys, we're going to wait out the Aegis, but that's a sure way to just lose a game. They hit him with aggression because they know there's no Doom and there's no Wukong.
Yep.
And they catch him napping. Cuckoo goes down first. Great pickoff. They just all in. They know that this is their window to win a fight. If Savage has Wukong's there, this fight is almost lost. There's every LGD hero in range. Instead, Faith Beyond, he lets himself go. Meanwhile, Ame hunts the tree, the support duo hunt the Lion, and then it's just 2 cores remaining.
Yeah. No, they did a fantastic job just basically playing keep away from the Monkey King until they killed enough of the backline that they could just together focus him down not once but twice. Still though, T1 holding a 2,000 net worth lead, and we're gonna double back on that conversation we had earlier. BKB on the Doom.
Yeah.
How comfortable is T1 going late game thanks to the fact they've got a Doom offlane?
I would be more confident in it if it weren't for the full pipe. Because my concern is, I understand why you get it. It's great against Lush Sky. You kind of feel like you need to have it. But Cuckoo, in a way, hurts his team by not playing more for himself. Because the Aghanims, Refresher, Shivas, like those items win the game.
So you think he was focused a little bit too much on the early game, or maybe focused a little bit too much on helping his team?
Again, it's the benefit of hindsight, right? That fight we watched the replay of near the Dire Tier 2 Ancients, he had the pipe, but they didn't have Savage's BKB. If they did, if that fight goes their way, suddenly I'm praising the decision to get pipe because it won them a critical engagement. So it really is just because Dota is so damn complex, it's tough to really judge a decision. We look at it in a total zero-sum way. It's either good or it's bad.
Yeah.
But ultimately, there's almost always, especially at this level, you know, it's a finals weekend. There's reasoning behind it. Sometimes things just don't go the way you plan.
Oh, Carl, what a big hit, but the phase shift! What a reaction!
Wow. I catch it. Oh, the Eagles was coming.
Well, they certainly know about that Dire ward on the high ground that spotted Carl. There's no way he gets initiated like that without them having vision.
And once again, nothing to say with the same build. Holy Locket complete on the Enchantress, and now it's T1's turn to smoke. There's no haunt. It's a great timing. PSG.LGD, they gotta get the hell out of here.
Successful scan. PSG.LGD on the run.
Already the TP top from Innocence as the rest of the team just runs back to base. This is the move. Enemy team alert.
Stuck. It's okay.
Dire's middle tower
But
is
yes,
under attack.
team playing the edges of the map right now, knowing that T1 is on the hunt. They've got the Doom, they've got the Coil, got everything they need to be able to win a fight.
But the one thing I'm a little nervous about, Carl, very aggressive player, has not even thought about a Neon Disc yet, and that's a pretty life-saving item in this kind of game.
Cuckoo running in. You're going to lead off on Y. Simple pickoff. They're going to turn around on Cuckoo. Oh, Cuckoo! He didn't get off his BKB fast enough. 23 Savage does to deal with the Rod of Atos. He's going to pop a very defensive Wukong's command, thinking that this fight, he's probably right.
Silence saves the day.
That was sick. A silence that stops the call from Axe as he gets force-staffed up there. He would have caught 23 Savages and they would have killed him for sure. Really well done by Carl. Zephyr on the run, but now he's caught outside of the trees and now he's screwed.
Yes. I gotta say, this is just such a technical game of Dota. It's so much fun to watch. You have the double force staff on PSG.LGD is actually so sick in this game. They rush these items for a reason. It's necessary against Monkey King. You have to escape the Wukongs. T1, they see the screen of space. That's about the max distance they want to fight to cover.
Sure.
PSG.LGD, you can strike from anywhere. You're expecting to be across the map and just haunt in. They want to get space. They want to try to tank through a coil, or at the very least ensure only one or two heroes is caught by it, and avoid Wukongs entirely. Because the 23 Savage build, you know, he's got a defusal. He's very much in for a good Wukong with the early BKB. Limited damage, and at this point, Spectre now top net worth. This is where it gets a little concerning. Cuckoo not BKBing there. Suddenly, yeah, he's still farmed, but this isn't the terrifying Doom yet. Not even close. He needs more items, and at this point, that Midas advantage is going to start to disappear. Like he has no item slots left even.
Yeah,
that's
at some
the
point
issue
he's
when
going to have to trade out Blade Mail for a Shivas, trade out Pipe for an Aghanim Scepter, or consume an Aghanim Scepter, or something like that. For him to get the late game you want to be able to see. Cuckoo does this time around get out the BKB and LGD. They may be punished for it, but these force stats are pushing nothing to say around. Does manage to get off Splitter just on the support. 23 Savage getting on top. Leshrac finally surrounding him with the statues, and they put that Leshrac in the grave. But at the same time, Cuckoo will follow him off of Culling Blade. Phase Beyond looking for the fresh reinitiation. They spot Whitemon. That should be an easy kill for Ame to be able to clean up as the rest of T1 are out of here. Maybe not Zephyr. Concussive shot.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, didn't quite, wasn't quite in range of the Dream Protector, so it hit the neutral creeps instead.
Yeah, I love the way PSG.LGD, they're taking fights into Doom. They don't want to give Tier 1 the opportunity to catch them off guard. They're the ones engaging, and nothing to say. He simply knows no fear. He recognizes, look, I'm going to get doomed. I might as well make it easy for him. And when it happens, he's in melee range of 3 heroes with Nova already running. So he's going to die, but he recognizes it and ensures he can do as much damage as possible. All Tier 3 items now collected. Spider Legs on Axe is pretty huge. Spectre loves having the Paladin Sword. Nobody holding the Cloak of Flames. just yet. I expect Cuckoo to take that, but he's actually got the quickening charm just for faster Doom CD. I think I would take Local Flames. He is the one who can see the
Look at the goal! Oh, he got him! Beyond and GenQ. They're not going to get the silence. He's going to try and blink away, and they won't know where he went. Man, that would have been a sick pickup for LGD if they managed to chain that call into silence, but unfortunately, GenQ wasn't quite close enough.
Yeah. Carl, no Eon Disc, went for the Yule's build. So that's the save for the silence or for the Atos. But it requires him to be real cautious, because if he's caught by a stun, or, well, an axe call into a Lesh stun, he is dead.
Yeah.
They'll also have an Abyssal up soon on Ame.
Oh, turns around and manages to kill Faith Beyond.
By himself?
The hunted becomes the hunter, it seems.
How did that happen?
Well, he got him with the coil, and
all right, well. Issue you have is T1 though, top net worth. Spectre is really a lord of the late game, and I'll last time I'll say it.
Yes.
No break mechanic against Spectre, very troublesome. You have one in the Doom, but nothing to say is doing what he can to absorb it, which means Ame is then free to just play the entire fight. And with Scotty, with a Basher, you got to be really cautious as the support duo specifically, but he's also able to go toe-to-toe with the MK. Not quite in the Wukongs, but that'll come shortly. Second row shop, this is the Shard. Do you contest it for PSG.LGD?
Yes. I'm going to say yes, but T1, knowing that PSG.LGD is likely to contest, they're going to go for a smoke of their own. They spot the Enchantress, looking to blow him up. The Hunt is actually going to go out. Buyback out from the Enchantress. White Mob with the Ghost Scepters, looking to be able to run away. Ame is trying to find his target, but then both of the supports have Ghost Scepters. Good overgrowth is going to be able to hold some heroes in place, allowing 23 Savage to now get set up. They have to do on nothing to say. They're trying to chase him down. Carl gets silenced almost immediately by the Skywrath Mage. He's turning around and fighting. He is 23 Savage. Now pops the Wukong's command. The damn Left Direct just will not die fast enough. Finally, they manage to get him killed, but it cost the Doom his life. Now, 23 Savage stuck in his Wukong's command and being poked at by this Enchantress. He's not going to let him be able to jump away to the trees. He's not going to be able to get out of here unless a trickery, a TP out. They're denied by Faith Beyond with the call and a culling blade to cut off his head. Carl slowed down. Another orb, another face hit, but the call comes first. A double kill for Faith Beyond and LGD. It's going to be their Roshan to tame.
Man, they're just playing these fights so well. Both sides giving it their all, but nothing to say. Once again, he has the Nova running that whole time. Doom does not disable, so he's just pumping damage. Lets himself fall once again, but he has the buyback. Finger also used, but basically absorbed because there's also a buyback on the Enchantress. So the initiation of PSG.LGD is actually just dying of taking spells because they have more sustained damage in the fight because their Spectre is just so large. Now he's got the Aegis. Oh my, he's so tanky. 4,000 health. Ame all of a sudden is a beast.
Yeah, 4,000 health, the 5% dispersion. They've got the Shard now on the last track. We're going to watch that fight again. Man, nothing to say. I think you said it really well, right? Aghanim Scepter on Doom, etc., etc. But the one thing you said was, nothing to say is trying his best to be a target to soak up that Doom. Yep. And what a great showing from him in that team fight, in soaking up the Doom and still managing to play out a full team fight and get damage out.
This is the other way of playing against Doom. We saw EG use Tactic 1 previous series.
Don't let the Doom ever successfully go off.
Exactly. Right. Lincoln's and Lotus. This is the other alternative, the Doom Soak. In this case, nothing to say, just uses all of his abilities. He's maximized on his health, his spell lifesteal, and sustainability, and he just runs in.
Yeah.
He's second in net worth too, which is kind of crazy, especially post buyback. T1, you're still not in a bad spot, but you know, okay, he's got a Q. Cuckoo recognizes it, but I go back to the item build, right?
Yeah.
The build up is great if it works. But the reason you'll see, you know, old 11 as an example, almost always stick to the script.
Yeah, he definitely sticks to the script.
Like, it's the same items. It's Midas, GKB, Blink, Shiva's, Refresher.
Yep.
And in this game, he would have bought Axe too. It's because it doesn't put you in a scenario where losing a fight, making a single mistake as a team, suddenly lets you lose your late game edge. And that's what's happened right now to T1 and Cuckoo's Doom. You're still in an okay position, but Puck and Monkey straight up get outscaled by Spectre Lesh. They're gonna need a really nice fight. Ame's done a great job saving Manta. We saw him use it to execute Line in the last fight, but he's making sure it doesn't go in.
Oh, that that was almost a two-man call, but because of T1's quick reactions, it's a no-man call. Game very even, 25-25. Piddly 7,000 net worth lead for LGD. T1. It all just basically comes down to team fights, right?
Yep.
Who is executing? I will say maybe something to do with that buildup that you're talking about for the Doom, and then also the fact that he went Yules on the puck to help other people is something to do about Cuckoo's philosophy when it comes to Dota. He said that if you're good at playing Dota, there are no individual plays. It's all connected as 5. This is a team that wants to be able to play around and with each other as much as possible.
That's a good point. The only thing they're missing, okay, I'm glad. Puck actually picks up the Shivas. It's not needed just for the fact that it's a great item on Doom, but it's the AoE regen reduction. You know, you're playing against Lesh, who's healing like 100 health a tick of Nova, especially when he's up in the face of so many T1 heroes. You need to reduce it. Scotty will come out soon on the Monkey King, but I really like the itemization from Ame because, yeah, he actually has the Scotty now, but Ame already has a Butterfly. So, in a way, the MK is a full item down. And the evasion, the dispersion, until you have Aghanims, they do, but it has to hit Ame, but now he has Aegis. Like, PSG.LGD, they've engineered the lineup, the way they played this game for this push right now. They have what they need, they have an Aegis, and it's time to go high ground.
Yep, they're recognizing their timing, and they're going to put T1 to the test here with a high ground push starting with Ame. Okay, never mind.
Okay.
PSG.LGD, all that buildup. They're going to do it. Go for the high ground. Oh, Jesus, that's a living armor. Let's run away.
They got wards, though.
True.
Somewhat anticlimactic, but still considered a win.
And so they're gonna go back and just do the Ame hit a side lane while the rest of the team looks for that pick-off that allows them for an easier high ground push.
He's very fond on Ame, already having a backpacked item. That's how you know you're looking good.
What do you think, Nullifier or Abyssal Blade? That's what Ame's switching between right now.
Abyssal because he doesn't need the slot. So you're better off being slot efficient for the time being. Nullifier is going to be nice, but unnecessary for now, I think, because you're more concerned about staying that item ahead of the cores than you are being able to solo kill enemy supports by dispelling the Ghost Scepter.
Okay.
Is mine.
Tier 4 items going all around.
That's why they back.
Quick disconnect there as we're dealing with a little bit of a speed bump here, slowing the game down. If you're just now watching, this is the upper bracket finals of Keep Major. It's between the Southeast Asian team of T1 versus the Chinese teams of PSG.LGD. The score is 25-25. Yes, Scott.
I was just going to say while we have the items up, I love how PSG, they have so many things you have to deal with. You know, they have double Glimmer, so you got to have detection. They have double Force, so you've got to be worried about positioning. They have regen reduction, so your heals don't work as well. They have evasion, so you got to have some sort of MKB here. It's just a tough game, technically. And it's just, there's still a Kukuju. He has Aghanims, but they have to get the Spectre. How long is Aegis? No more.
They've got to execute for this team fight. They got to get the Doom plus Coil, or the Coil plus Wukong's command.
Yep.
They've got to get the Doom on Spectre, because he's the Aghanim Scepter that he's got.
In addition, the thing about dooming Lesh is that even if you kill him, you don't actually inhibit his damage output. As long as
he's already activated his ult.
Exactly. Whereas if you get it on the Spectre, you not only remove his hero from the fight as like not quite fully as an offensive threat, but no dispersion is a huge deal. No Desolate is a huge deal.
Especially since he now has a level 25 talent. It's even more effective. Team 1. They're trying to find an opening earlier. Now they're moving around the map. They're spotted by a very nice aggressive ward placed between the mid and bottom lane. PSG.LGD, they're going to start making their way over here. The Shiva's slowing down the Coil. Faith Beyond kind of stuck here. But at the same time, T1 not in position to pursue.
And the other cool thing they've got going for them is that you have the Trickster Cloak on the Lesh too. So that's more evasion. So now, unfortunately for 23 Savage, he's got it queued, but that MKB is kind of...
Oh, no, on the tree! He just tried to hop away, but instead he's caught and very likely killed. Won't be able to do anything. The Lotus Orb of the Earth Spike is going to be able to catch Whitemon as well. 2 pickoffs, and PSG.LGD, maybe now it's time to threaten for that high ground. Carl is jumping around, trying to do what he can, but there's just no opening on these supports for him to get a pickoff.
You gotta be a little careful of PSG.LGD. You have no buyback on your Spectre nor Haunt. I can expect 23 Savage. He is ready to buy back if needed.
Yep.
Will you let one Rax go is the question.
The Glyph and Living Armor combo will only last so long, and it'll only do so much against the level 25 Leshrac. They're gonna go now. Oh, the Abyssal Blade! Manta Abyssal Blade stops Kuku's initiation, and you can see Ame is gonna wait it out till Kuku dies, but Kuku looking to retreat. Faith Beyond, 4 staffed out. Both of these offlaners managed to survive, but now the Wukong's command gonna be able to surround the Leshrac as best as possible, looking to be able to get away. She can't go anywhere. The Doom now being used to make sure the Leshrac does die. Kuku wanted to make sure he wasn't a threat anymore. The Enchantress, 23 Savage, gonna hop on him. LGD doing a very good job of disengaging, but T1 do manage to hold their high ground. They do manage to hold their base.
Oh, I thought they were in for a punishing there. There was no, like, the Doom came out on a mostly dead Lesh, but he saw the cheese, wanted to prevent it.
Sure.
I was so concerned that they were going to immediately just buy back on Lesh, TP in. Ame still full health, just didn't have Haunt. You can see the power of the Abyssal Blade. Like, right as the Doom went in, Manta Abyssal. Didn't even get the stomp off. And the Doom goes out, but again, just onto the Lesh. So nothing
What's
to say.
the cooldown on Doom right now? So it's pretty much tied in with the Leshrac reviving. So at least there won't be a big timing for PSG.LGD when they're 5 up to be able to like run at T1. They'll still have to worry about that Doom for about...
This is the buyback respawn. That's why it's so long.
Yeah.
From that initial fight around Roche, which feels like half an hour ago.
Yeah, it certainly does.
See, oh, what a spawn. Beautiful.
Wow. Sound like a really fast spawn. I wasn't paying attention.
It was pretty quick.
They can get an Aghanim Scepter for the Monkey King. That would be super sick.
Do you give it to him or the puck?
Hard to say.
PSG, they're coming. They still have back on Lesh if they want to use it.
They do. Jumping forward, Puck trying to catch, and they do have with this coil, with the illusions from the Monkey King. Where did those come from? An illusion rune pays off later on. Faith Beyond, that's a kill. PSG.LGD are certainly giving up this Roshan now. A buyback now, but Roshan's already dead. What was the buyback for? Well, don't do it. Nothing do it. Stand in my way.
Interesting.
Southeast Asia, please. NA and SA already got clowned on for this. Don't leave the Chiefs in the pit too.
Oh no. I mean, look, at the end of the day, they got the important items, which is perhaps why we need to see Roshan tone down a little bit, because if you can ignore cheese and be like, well, we got what we came for.
Yeah.
Maybe there's an issue here with him giving too much. Who did they give the Aghanims to?
Puck. You are correct.
Yeah, it's too good, right? It's the BKB break. It's just too strong. It also lasts longer. So all of a sudden, a coil means the Wukong is free.
Jumping. 23 Savage with his quick reactions is turning around. Faith Beyond is just dead. Dead for 2 minutes, in fact. 23 Savage activated the BKB. Now the Doom putting on to nothing to say with a finger of death. They want this Leshrac dead, and they've got him dead with a beautiful overgrowth on 3. A gigantic Wukong's command. PSG.LGD in hell right now as T1 members all around. Ame gets out of the pit, gets out of the Wukong's command, but T1's not done just yet. They still want this kill. Managed to get the stun off. Kuku, he's looking to be able to dodge. 4 staffed away. He's living right now. Oh, even the Skywrath Mage ultimate's not going to be able to land, but they do need to be able to help out 23 Savage here on the second life. He's outputting an okay amount of damage, but not enough to be able to kill Ame. They've got to go back in. They got to help him. He jumps in to try and save 23 Savage's life. The splitter, the precasted stun, it's going up and down. They turn around, throw out a boundless strike. He's looking to be able to get out of that AoE. The damage is raining in, nothing to say. No buyback on him, and he's dead as well. Coil on to 2. Ame is not here. The 2 supports have been abandoned by their carry, PSG.LGD. It was a long one. They all in for it, and they lost it. T1 will clean up the Y Enchantress.
It is...
There 2 heroes with no, or excuse me, 3 heroes with no buyback for a minute and a half.
Yeah, and Beyond's dead for another 30 seconds. Wow, they just all in. Faith Beyond, the one person who can't die without buyback, he dies immediately. And then they got the dream combo, the puck coil.
Oh, they found Ame. Okay, they're gonna buy back for this. Like Carl's like, guys, that's their only hero alive. All in on him. Kuku does what he can. Ame does manage to get at least the 1 kill. They bump him back up to the high ground to make sure they kill him. All right, Ame I'm not sure if this was planned or not, but in some ways, he does have to keep T1 from just hitting his base because he's got no allies. He's the one that does have a buyback, but they have a full minute without 3 heroes.
They have plenty of time, I would say.
Yeah, Kuko's going to buy back. They're in.
No wonder. Like,
Oh, he got a refresher.
yeah, and he has Doom up in 25 seconds.
With only 2 heroes and 2 Dooms, Kuku, he could straight up finish this game for T1.
Go straight for throne, play for the win. You've got Wukongs, you've got Double Doom. Like, these heroes will be deleted. Kuku's on the way.
PSG.LGD trying to slow things down. 23 Savage. The damage is making me a little nervous. It's not fast enough. They're going to jump in on 23 Savage. Call goes out. Abyss played the call as well, but 23 Savage getting off the Wukong's command. Now he's got the armor. Now they're going to be able to break the coil on both of Faith Beyond as well as Ame. They're both dead. And that is going to be T1 with a roar from the bench. Taking game 2 against PSG.LGD. The upper bracket finals. Think it's going the distance.
What a fight, what a game, what a team. This is the first time I feel like we've seen PSG.LGD tested in this manner. Nigma, they gave him a good showing.